Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now, the new iRacing build is here for Season 1 2023, and I always try and pick my favourite part of the build. Now, there's been some brilliant content released. The new BMW Hybrid V8, the Mercedes-AMG W13 Formula 1 car, the Toyota GR86, but none of those my favourite part of the build. My favourite part of the build is the new Active Reset feature. Now, what is the Active Reset feature, I hear you ask? Well, this is a tool which will allow you to practice a corner over and over and over again just by pressing one button. So before we get into how it works and all that kind of stuff, we just need to map a couple of buttons in the control options. So these are the control options. So you will find the ones we need to map on the right hand side under other controls. It's down at the bottom, and it's the bottom four. So we've got Active Reset Save Start Point, we've got Active Reset Run, Custom Sector Mark Start Point, and Custom Sector Mark End Point. Now, it's really easy. So the first one, Active Reset Save Start Point, that's where you will want your run to start from. So, for example, if you wanted to practice turn 1 at Monza, you would maybe press this button halfway down the straight when you're at full speed. Whatever speed you're doing, whatever state your car is in, it will reset to that point when you press that button. So if you're stationary and you set the start point when you're stationary, whenever you reset, you will be stationary. So make sure that you are going at normal speed. So Active Reset Run, well, that is the button that you would press to start your practice over and over again. So if you practiced and you messed up, well, you press the button and it will put you back to that point halfway down the straight at Monza, for example. And every time you press that, it will just reset to that point. So when you're practicing, you need to work off a delta, so you know what you're doing is either quicker or slower. That's where the bottom two come in there. So Custom Sector Mark Start Point, that's when you want your delta to start from. So for example, Monza, halfway down the straight, that's when your reset button works from. As you approach the braking zone for the first chicane, you would press the Custom Sector Mark Start Point before the braking zone. Then that would start the delta running. The Custom Sector Mark End Point, well, after you've gone through the first chicane and you're halfway around the long right hand corner, well, you can press the end point there. So whenever you go through turn 1, 2 at Monza, that will work as a delta. So you can then practice, see if cutting the curbs helps, see if it doesn't. Hopefully, it will be a bit more clear when we get on track. So let's do that right now. So before we get round to the final chicane, where we're going to demonstrate it properly, real practice, how I would do it, we'll just get on to the straight here at Le Mans, and I'll try and show you how to set the mark in, out points and all that kind of stuff. Of course, you can set different ones. You know, whatever ones you set will overwrite the ones that you previously had. So we're approaching the straight now. So we'll get around this corner. And the first button, remember, was the Active Run start point, where we wanted the run to start from. So if we take a note of the speed, we'll try and get that bang on 90 kilometers an hour. And we'll press the button, you'll hear a beep. There we go. So now if we move over here and we stop the car, if we press that button that I mentioned would reset every single time, we press that one now, and we should be doing 90 kilometers an hour in the middle of the track. There we go, 90 kilometers an hour. Press it again, and it will just reset. So now we want to set a custom delta. So now we could press the in point now. And you can see in the mirror there, you can just see it. And we'll press the out now. Then we'll reset. So there's the delta start line there. You can see just in front. And then just up the road, there's the end one there. See? And if we wanted to set a new start point for the delta, we'll do it at the start of this white line. So press it now. You see it in the mirror. And then we'll do another one here now to end. There we go. So we'll reset. Start of the broken white line around this turn. We'll be able to see it. There it is, look. And then just a little bit further on will be the end. There it is. Right, we'll head on down now to the last couple of chicanes. Hope that makes sense. Right, so a little bit further on with the lap right now. And we're going to just go over it very, very quickly one more time. So the active reset start point, okay, so that's where we start from. So if I press the active reset run, that would put us back there at 90 kilometers per hour. But we're going to press it just as we go around this turn. That's the start point again. And then if we press active reset run, that will start the run. So we press that one more time. And there we are, coming out the turn. Really, really easy. So there's two buttons that you need to think about first of all. That's the active reset start point. We'll do that again here. And if we press the active reset run, and that will put us back there a few hundred meters. There we go. Right. So now we can think about setting a start point for the final two chicanes. So we want to get out of these corners as we normally would on a normal flying lap. And then as we approach the first chicane, or the second to last chicane should I say, we want to be pressing the active reset start point. Once we've done that, then we can worry about the delta later. So we'll try and get out these corners as we normally would. There we go. So we can press it now. And then we'll probably do it again around this turn. So we'll press it now. There we go. So we can have a go, have a practice. If we want to go through there again, we can. But we haven't set the delta up yet. See, we messed that up. And if we did that normally, you would have to do a full lap to try that again. But not now. We could just press a button. And here we go. Right back to the chicane. Absolutely. Oh, see, messed it up again. That would be 8 minutes practice time lost. But now, right back. Again, not great. Not great. Not really happy with that. So we'll press it again. Right, we're going to set the active start point now for the delta. Is that what it's called? Sorry. Custom sector mark start point. Right, so we'll do that. Okay, so we'll just reset the car. And just after it's reset, we're going to press a button to start the delta. You know, for the start of the delta. Right, here we go. Press it now. And then we want to know where we need to be. So we're not going to go really quickly through here. We just want to get through. And then we're going to set it a little way up the straight because we want to know if the exit out of the last chicane was any good. So we'll maybe press it about here. There we go. So that's the custom delta set. So now, where it says custom sector best on the left hand side, that will show us our time through those last two chicanes. So we'll reset. There, so the time's ticking now. We'll get a time on the board. So there's the end of the delta there, the line. So 18.107, right, so we'll practice that again. See if we can beat it. Try and cut these a bit more now. You can see we're up, so we're a quarter of a second quicker that time, just by cutting those first two chicanes a bit quicker. So we're already 2.5 tenths up, and we could just practice that as much as we want. Take a bit more curb. No, so that's slower. So there, we know that doesn't work, so we don't want to do that again. We'll press it again. Try and cut a bit more. Got to slow down, so we know we get slowed down if we cut that curb. And you can do this as much as you want. So for sections at the Nordschleife, for example, or the last chicane at Montreal, we know that's a pain in the backside. That was much slower. And again, you can just practice and practice and practice. Such a valuable training tool, this. Especially for me coaching Julie for our league races. This is going to be... There's always a corner where Julie struggles. Most of the tracks you can be fine. There's always one or two particular corners where she struggles. So this way, we can just keep practicing, practicing, and practicing. This is absolutely invaluable. It really, really is. So the Nordschleife, it's going to be so helpful there for certain turns. Le Mans, because the track's so long, Montreal, any circuit, there's always a problem corner. You just need to set the reset start point far enough back so you're up to speed, and then it's just a case of setting your deltas. So just before the corner or just before the braking zone for the corner, which you want to practice, and maybe a little bit after, depending on what the exit is like. If you're trying to gauge whether one way out of the corner is quicker than another, then you need to set the delta quite a way away, just so you can get a true reflection of whether the exit that you just got is better than the previous one. Hopefully all that makes sense. So there we go, active reset, hands down my favourite part of the new build, and the best thing to come to iRacing for years. I can't think of any other simulator out there that's got this feature, apart from, like, you know, a flashback on the old console games, but that's not what this is for. This is purely a training tool. But let us know down below in the comments what you think of this feature. I am absolutely blown away by it. It's all I hoped it would be and more. But as always, thanks for watching. Have a great week. See you later. Cheers.